Episode 320. Welcome back. Welcome home. We've got on the pod today.
Some would say the mother hen of any town. I just came up with that.
I guess they would say that. Some people. I don't know. It's the first time I heard it. The mother hen of any town. The one of the leads of Wayward Kin. We got her here today, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Katie Barbaree. Welcome back to the show.
I'm so glad to be here.
I didn't give you a prompt or anything. I just kind of let you figure it out.
It didn't say action. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. Well, welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back.
Welcome back.
Like you said, it's going to be a cozy one.
Yeah, it's super cozy.
You know?
Today's cozy vibes.
It's just us. We're fine, you know. We're chill.
We're having a good time.
That's right.
Already.
That's right.
I think it's really cool that you guys in the film are like, I mean, no one's seen it yet, but
the trailers.
Let's talk about the trailer and the teaser. You know, where people find it, because people are still trying to see.
Play it.
You know what I mean? Not everyone knows.
Play
the trailer.
Mom's supposed to pick me up.
Yeah, I know.
Does Mom know?
I just want to let you know Lily was just in my office, and I think she's planning on suing you for custody.
I'm sorry to say this, but if your dad wanted to see you, he'd be seeing you.
He couldn't just leave jail.
He should have thought about that before he drove around drunk.
What we have to do is to determine whether or not he's unfit.
Sir, she needs a father!
Yeah, what am I there?
Get your hands off the window,
Please get your hands off the window. It's okay.
And we're back. Okay, sweet. Yeah.
But dude, shout out the shows again, dude.
Oh, so Katie, where are we showing the film? What's going on?
April 28th at the famous Texas Theater in Dallas, 6:30. Be there, be square. Also in Archer City, the 25th and 26th.
Yes.
Showing it for the town. I don't remember the times on that, but there's a link in the description.
Oh yeah. That's what we're talking
Katie,
about.
looking back now, how many years has it been since we shot this thing? It was the fall of 2022?
Oh. 3 years?
3 years coming up on? Yeah, 3 years. How do you feel looking back on it now, seeing like what you've seen so far? And yeah, what's going on in your mind? Because I know right now is kind of a wild time because we're closing in.
O'Hagan, career coaching, guys. Don't be like Mikey. Got out of college, didn't get a job for like a year, man. I sent all the resumes out. No one called back.
Nobody.
Luckily, I had a connection. And you know, people say it's all about the connection. It's about who you know.
Yeah.
So we're gonna show you how to win here. If you're struggling with getting a job, you don't know what you're doing, maybe you're out of the game for a while, you got fired, you got laid off, who knows? But you gotta brush back up on those skills, on those interview questions, those answers, how to separate yourself from the crowd. We wanna send you to O'HaganCareerCoaching.com. Boom. Coach O. He's like your coach.
Yeah.
Think of a sport.
Yeah.
Amazing guy, 35 years of experience. He's been doing it for a long time. He's got all these connections, a whole network to offer you. He's the best in the game. Go to O'HaganCareerCoaching.com, get a class, start winning.
Oh, I like that.
Hit us with the Anytown.
AnytownActorsLab.com. Guys, you don't know how to act. You're trying to learn how to act. You know what we've been doing, and we've been saying it for a long time.
Yep.
We're only sending you to one place and one place only. And that's AnytownActorsLab.com. Guys, go check out the website. Go check out the TikTok and the YouTube. You're going to get free tips. As soon as you start watching them, you're going to fall in love and you're going to want to learn more. So don't take my word for it. Go check it out on your own. But if you want to live truthfully under imaginary circumstances, there's one teacher I know is going to help you get there. It's Adam at AnytownActorsLab.com.
And shout out to the patrons. Patreon.com/YouAreHerePod. Guys, it's the best way to support us. If you want to throw us a bone, buy us a coffee.
We love coffee.
It really is just the best way.
Mikey's getting a dog soon.
Yep.
He's going to need some extra bread.
Getting a dog soon. I got my dogs out on the Patreon. Patreon.com/YouAreHerePod.
The dogs.
How I feel looking back.
Yeah.
Looking back, I feel like I want to run and go catch that feeling again.
Oh.
I feel like it was one of the most monumental events of my life thus far. And I have so much joy looking back on it. I just pure happiness, really.
Mm. Yeah, me too.
I'm excited to have everybody back together again.
Yeah.
I feel, and we can talk about this later, but I did this one different than I've ever done anything else, acting wise, story wise, any of that. So I think that's why I feel so happy looking back, because I don't think I really would have said that about any of the projects I've worked on in the past. I think that it would come with like a little happiness because I love being on set. I just love being on set. But like the work and the family that we made, the crew, dude, there was no better, honestly.
There wasn't.
Has a crew ever so seamlessly and for chunk change ever been so incredibly happy, harmonious, working so hard, no real hiccups? Not doing 14, 16-hour days, doing max 10-hour days, leaving early some days. Mm-hmm. How many, like 12 different locations in 11 days? And just instant family. I've never experienced that before.
Me neither.
It seems like you guys always garner like a family vibe on set.
Yeah, it was very much that. It was very much that. Yeah. Looking back, it's such a it feels like a family for sure. Was like established on that set. And yeah, you still feel those connections like now to this day when I think of like anyone from the set, anybody. Anyone, Vu, Joy, everybody. I'm not going to name everybody, but like there was always like I think of them with such warmth because we shared something special, I think, on that set, telling a story together. And the time shared was so meaningfully spent, and people were willingly giving up their time and energy and like excited and passionate at the same time. And when we closed the book, I know that was like it was like a sad moment. It was like, man, we're kind of walking away from each other for now. So I'm excited to see everyone too, dude. But you're talking about being on set, Katie, and like loving that feeling. I know what you mean, but when you say like this time you did something differently than the last times you've acted or worked on a story, if you wouldn't mind, like in what ways, like what shifted this time?
So I, first of all, was able to do 9 months of training with Adam because he had one student, Ashton, and he needed someone to work with when he was first starting.
He's in the movie too.
Who? Ashton? Oh, yeah.
Come on.
You know a little bit about working with Ashton.
I know a little bit about that.
Very first Anytown Actors Lab student.
You made the cut. Hell yeah.
Yeah, man. Adam spent 9 months. Well, Adam and I both spent 9 months, twice a week, 6 hours a week, working with Ashton. He's the one that showed up. He's the one that signed up. And so actually being able to be there and work with him and do scenes and learn all of the tools that we learned in Playhouse again, where I'm in the position of just helping Ashton out. I need to be here for him. And the pressure was completely off of me because I wanted to show up every day and work for Ashton. There were no students in the class watching the work. There was absolutely no need to perform, which I really struggle with in life as well as in work. So to have that experience of being completely free, I got to learn all of the tools again and more deeply and more personally and more specifically and not bouncing off, well, what did you think of that? And what did you think of that? And I wonder what they thought of that. It was just sitting with myself saying, did that emotional preparation work? Did the particularization that I used serve? Did I put all of my attention on Ashton? Was Ashton helped by what we did? Did I confuse him? Framing it in that way gave me a training that I was so lucky to have that I don't think I ever would have. And also Adam is my husband. So there's nothing that man don't know about me, right? So there's nowhere to hide. He can get even so much deeper than anybody else that I'd be working with. And so he had such incredible insight that I don't think Jim could have had or anyone else could have without intimately knowing me. And so because of all of that, I went into Wayward like sliding down a slide, baby. I was like, let's go. I'm ready. And I really, really, really super, super duper focused on not caring one little bit how I looked. I didn't know where the camera was. I didn't know what my hair looked like. All I knew is that, what am I waking up to today? Okay, I got to go cut somebody's hair. All right, I'm going to throw this clothes on and these clothes on because they're clean and they're not in the dirty clothes. And I'm going to go out and I'm going to go cut Christine's hair, right? Like every day just thinking about, okay, what am I doing that day as Lily? What am I doing? And because I got to do that and be that free, I think all the work I did leading up to it, which was just all the work that we know how to do, all the tools that we've learned, the difference was the freedom on set. Also, my husband is directing me. What an embarrassment of riches. I'm working with all these actors who speak the same language, right? We know what a preparation is. We know, hey, I'm going to go in this field. Y'all are going to hear me screaming and yelling to no one. And it's cool, man. It's cool because, you know what I'm doing. We don't need the ambulance. She's not going to have a nervous breakdown. It's just, I really just don't want to work any other way than that. And even Jordan. So I talked about this on Adam's podcast yesterday, but even Jordan, who didn't necessarily speak the language, but learned a lot about us, invested in time, understanding how we work, the language that we're using. In the yard scene, I'm saying, hey, what is a mark? What is continuity? I don't know her. I don't know her because this is one of the most intense scenes I'll ever have to do. So, luckily he was like, just don't go past here. But he was so serious. He was really listening to me. He was like, okay, I'm going to choose the camera, the steady rig so that I can move around. And he was just really game for it. So that was really helpful as well. The collaboration is what I love as well. Everyone was so good at collaborating. Even Maya and Adam told Maya, hey, you're not going to like me because continuity is not my most important thing on set. And if something goes wrong, come tell me. You don't necessarily have to go tell the actors, or you can, but Maya worked within that. And she was like, hey, just so you know, this. And Adam was like, cool, got it, downloaded. What do I need to do from there? So even the people on set who did not know the way we had trained and had not worked on a set like Adam's before were so willing and game to play and to be open and to learn how to work together. So all of that together, it was the best experience shooting I'd ever had. So does that make sense, how I worked on it differently and how the outcome was so different? Totally. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Kind of seems like you were able to create your the foundation or the playground almost.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which doesn't always happen with a set, right?
Yeah.
So
it was something we talked about a lot going there. It was if we're going to tell this story, it's going to be from our values, and our values are that we want to capture life as it happens, as real as possible. And we were game to do that. And everyone seemed that jumped onto the project fit like puzzle pieces and was game in return to do that. And what you said spoke to me. I never felt that way before either, but the feeling of freedom to, risk. There almost was, how do I put it? There was no fear to make a mistake. It was there couldn't be a mistake. There was no wrong way. And we all knew the ballparks we were in and what we were doing each scene. And we were prepared with whatever we had on the day and the moment, and the work went away and life happened in front of us. And most of the time I would step away, still processing what's going on from our doings and the experience that we just shared. And everyone was very considerate, and yeah, there was no ego. There was no awkwardness. I didn't feel a touch of that the whole way through. And God, it was such like a seamless storytelling experience, man. And even with when things went not right, let's say it wasn't wrong, it was like a tire flat in the driveway. And, me and Adam were trying to figure out ways to like get it done while the crew's setting up inside to shoot this one scene we got to get before we got to leave the house so everyone could go to sleep. And it all just flowed. I don't know. It was like no one panicked. It always worked out. We had so much like abounding faith that everything was going to work out, and it always did. But yeah, to speak on like the comfort. Like I know in previous times working on sets when I'd be hired for something like a short film and I'm meeting people for the first time and that's part of the game. Like you're hired to go act in a story like you applied for, you auditioned for. And you show up and you're like, I hope people don't think I'm weird when I'm going to prepare. Like I'm going to do it. But I could sense that like, they're like, who is this wild man? And why is he like crying to himself with his earbuds? You know what I'm saying? Like, why is he saying the Lord's Prayer over and over like 7 times? You know what I'm saying? So I know the feeling of feeling like you're on the outside of a group trying to make a thing. And this was very much because it's our family and because we're family to each other and our friends are our family and the people we met, I guess naturally we're able to come into that family too through this experience of working together. There was no awkwardness. There was no discomfort. It was full. It was not, it wasn't challenging in the sense of, to me, I'm speaking again, how my experience was, but it wasn't, I had no eyes on like, how am I doing? Or like, how like I remember I say to Adam many times, like on our way back in that little van, like, what happened? Like, I don't know. Was it okay? Are we okay? And he's like, we're good. Like, just keep going. We're good. I'm like, okay. But I don't know. I don't have eyes on it for the first time in my life. I'm not watching. So I relate to you 100%, dude, on that experience.
Yeah. I everything you said is exactly right. The watching of yourself and then a scene ends and you know exactly what you did. You know nothing of what the other person did. That is one of the worst feelings ever.
Uh-huh.
And it's human, and being an actor is really difficult and it's understandable, but the script was written and the set was run in order to alleviate that thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Totally.
So yeah, and I said it's gonna be hard to work for anybody else.
Yeah.
And I was like, they're banging my door down, obviously. They're not. But I just have a real standard for the way I want to work. And the way I want to collaborate with people and the kind of ecosystems that I want to see on sets that I hope with this company and all these movies that we can just continue to create and continue to bring people into and welcome them into the fold, just like everyone on Wayward, and just keep doing this forever. That's the hope.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I will say, because I even caught a first kind of glimpse of like the process when I was doing the last short.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, it would have been good if you told people, like give a heads up. Because like, I feel like it would even help because at certain points, like I never really knew. So I never understood how it looked or, how you would prepare and stuff. But when I saw it, I'm like, oh shit. Like I didn't want to bother you. You know what I mean? But I was like unsure if I could bother you or not. Yeah. So I was like, I'm just going to not do it.
Yeah, I hear you.
But if you let people know, they'd be like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, and the language was like, that's what it was. And everyone understood.
Not everyone knows.
Yeah.
But it's funny to like understand after. I'm like, oh, should probably tell someone.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
I remember that Avery's dad was on set The first day he was on set was for the yard scene. Oh, look who
Really?
God.
God.
Oh.
Oh, look who it is.
Oh, there she goes. Newest addition to the family. Little pumpkin.
So it's fine. She just wants to be with her mama.
Oh.
Dang, I want to pet.
Oh yeah, my assistant's gonna heat my coffee right quick.
Oh,
yeah.
good.
Hey, heat it. You got 30 seconds, man. Heat it up.
Tell him he's gonna get a decrease in his wage.
Yeah. Figure it out, buddy.
Okay.
Oh, well, shout out before we go on.
Oh,
I'm gonna be there. I'm
No.
gonna be there. I'm gonna be there.
yes, Mikey's
I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna be there. I'm
Let's
hyped.
go,
I'm
baby.
excited. I'm excited.
Oh my gosh, dude, this screening I cannot wait for. I can't wait.
Now, which one should I go to?
Oh,
Or am I just going to all of them?
I think
I
all
will
of
give
them.
it that
I'm going to all of them.
for
Yeah.
you.
I think.
Yeah.
you should,
Why couldn't? Why,
I think
why
you should
can't
go to all of them.
Why
I
can't
think you should
I?
go
I'll
to
just
all
go to all
of
of
them.
them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you should go to all of them.
You're right. What else would I be doing? What else would I be doing?
Dude, Archer City is gonna be like
Yeah.
the
I wanna see
craziest
that.
thing, and then ending in Dallas is
Oh.
gonna be nuts.
I want to see that so bad.
Oh my gosh.
Like being on set again.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be
And-
where we shot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the core. I think audience that we shot this, made this movie for.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna feel really, really real. Dallas is gonna be so real.
Yeah.
I think
Dang.
it's gonna be. It's gonna. All of it's gonna be special and so different. So, I mean, if I were you, I would want to come to both.
Yeah.
No, I don't know why I'm thinking I'm not going to go to
Yeah.
all
Why
of
wouldn't you go
Yeah,
to
why
them all,
wouldn't I?
man?
them. Like, all right, see you guys later. Like, what? That's
Bye.
why I'm there.
Is Margot coming? Is my question. Is
Ah.
Margot coming?
We're going to figure that out.
We're trying to figure it out.
Figuring it out.
Right?
We're figuring it out. Look.
Got popping that car.
We're figuring
Pop in
it out.
that whip,
Yeah, you're right.
skirt on down.
It's a clean,
Scoop.
a clean 5 hours.
She looks fun and sweet.
Yeah.
I know. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We will.
We better.
Yeah.
I want to get into like the because it was the best experience I've ever had telling a story. Period, and everything about it. But it wasn't not challenging, like in its own ways. And I want to know, like for you, like reprising the role, you know, of Lily Dodgens, like what became challenging? Like what were things that you were able to mesh with and things that you could line up with Lily and you found very easy to find, and then other things that may have been a stretch, and like this is a bit of artsy smartsy talk and whatever. Turn it off if you don't want to listen. But I like this kind of stuff.
Me too. I live for it.
Yeah. So like what were those things, and did you find you were able to bridge the gap on them, and what surprised? How about this too? This is question B. After question A, what surprised you at the end of this process, walking through this Lily arc that you did?
Okay. So the things that I understood in my spirit about Lily, I know what it's like to be from a small town. I know what it's like to have no money. I know what it's like to be Southern, not Texan, which everybody watching right now, I know I'm from Arkansas. Okay. I know I was born there.
Gurdon.
So I know what it's like to be from the South and a small town and to struggle. I know struggle. I know that, right? What I did not know and what my biggest concern coming into the role was motherhood.
Yeah.
I was so concerned that I would not do that piece of the character justice. And that can lead right into what surprised me is that now I see Avery and I'm like, my daughter. The cast interviews and I'm crying because I'm like, oh, look how good she's doing. She's so pretty. Like she's grown up so much. And I'm literally crying. Like, oh, what is wrong with you? Relax. But oh my gosh, the sunset is so pretty right now. What a special moment. Anyway, so it really surprised me that I was able to create such a relationship with her and such a necessary in the role fear of losing her, losing that relationship.
Yeah.
So much so that it blurred out her as a human being more than I don't want to feel this loss, which is a common thing that can happen in these kinds of custody battles. So I was really surprised that I was able to like bring that about in myself to the level that I did, that it's even affecting me now.
Yeah.
That was one of the biggest challenges, was being a mother. And I'm trying to think of other things that were really challenging. I've never gone through, now we didn't go through a divorce, but like a separation where I'm having to co-parent, or I'm having to contend with the other person taking this thing from me. Right? I've never had that specific relationship where I am working with someone who I have a lot of fear around, not working with Dave, but working with my ex in the film, where I'm scared and he's uncontrollable and unpredictable, and I have to wrangle this thing that is already mine from him. I've never had that relationship, which again surprised me that we were able to sink into that with each other, because specifically I am so close with Dave. Dave is basically, your family. And I've only ever had positive experiences with you personally. And our relationship just had never been negative. So we always have this like jovial, joking, brother sisterly kind of love.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I've got to build, not only were we high school sweethearts, but then violently separated after having a child. That's a lot to honor, because it's very, very, very important to me that people who go through the circumstance that's in the movie, people who are really living that, have lived that, watch the movie and go, that is real. That is my experience.
Yep.
The biggest fail of this film is if they walk in and they say, yet another movie. They don't get it. They don't, nobody understands another Hollywood, another written artistic take on my life. So that was my biggest goal in filming the movie, which also was the biggest struggle, to make all of those relationships real, because I wasn't worried about the circumstance so much as the relationships, because I've spent the past 15 years putting myself in situations that I've never been in before. But the relationships, I think, were the biggest hurdle, and that then ultimately ended up surprising me the most. Does that make sense?
Totally. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it was that I totally resonate with that, dude. Yeah, man, it's difficult to build a relationship when you have a relationship with someone that's so strong and deep, and it's a blessing because we had that kind of relationship already, where we know each other very well and we love each other deeply, and you can work from there. Like always, there's something there always. But yes, to then like start to twist and contort things in such a way where, you show up and just my face is like, this dude is trying to go to war with me. Like he's trying to take what I love dearest away from me. Katie, Dave's trying to do that. What are you going to do? And everyone saw, like, when you work that way, it's not pretty, but it is real. And we could say whatever we want, but like those experiences were awful, like going through them in the moment, and we captured it. Like, I don't know. I'm not so mature in this process where like I'm not worried about how people look at me where I'm like, oh, I was able to just switch it on and switch it off. And I have this ability to just kind of float between roles and stuff. I had to isolate myself in so many ways. I had to like a lot of my experience on set too was I look back and I'm like, damn, I wish I could have just been just like 2020 Dave or like 2019 Dave showing up just happy as hell to be hanging with people that are like lovely. And that's like a little insecurity of mine because I look back, I'm like I felt pretty alone a lot of the time, and Avery was kind of the one thing that I was able to kind of like link onto and look to as like a source of light of life, and like it was all to say, bro, challenging. Like that part of the experience was challenging, but the purpose of it is to serve people with reality, to tell a story where they say, damn, like, I'm not alone, dude. Like, they get it. They get it. That's exactly how I felt. How that dude's looking in that truck right now and how she's looking at her daughter, dude. Like, that's how it feels, man. That's how it feels. And it makes you feel like, okay, if I'm not alone in this, then like, I don't know, there's a sense of like, it's not over. Like I'm not dead. Like there's a way out, you know? And that's the hope. That's the hope. So yeah, I hear what you're saying. And man, it was tough, dude. It was tough. That Brent's first day, man, he saw like, he just showed up. He's thinking like my daughter's in a movie. Like this is exciting. And like he had no idea. He had no idea.
This is what I forgot to say. Brent's first day was the yard scene, which ultimately is, if you want to come to the movie, just see the yard scene.
Yeah, I think you should watch the yard scene, guys, for sure.
Brent said, and I had no clue he was even there. That's the day that I was like so isolated from everyone.
Yeah.
I was able to not have to be as isolated all the other days, but that day I said I knew what was being called of me, and so I didn't know that Brent was there. And he said he saw me by myself over on a bench.
Oh, yeah.
And he goes, oh
no.
Everything's fine. He saw me on a bench and I switched my phone off, okay?
She's channeling it.
I just like took the lamp that I have right here and just obliterated it.
You got it. It's perfect.
You're good. Looks good. All good now.
He saw me across the way. And he was like, oh, I am not going over there. I had seen and met Brent a bunch of times. And I'm always, And even people who know me, like at my job, they've seen the teaser. And every single time they watch the teaser and they go. And I'm like, what? They're like, you're so different. Being like, I don't walk around angry all day, and all they ever see is like happy, Katie at work, you know. And so but again, that was to where people could have that space to really do the work, you know. And it wasn't like, hit your mark, and then like, I know that your partner's over here, but can you just like make your eye line right here because it looks better for camera.
Yeah,
I am not interested in working that way. And to solidify that was our set. And yes, in the edit, did Adam have to cut around some continuity? Did some things get a little screwed up? Sure. Yes. But what Dave said, Dave said, we captured it. We captured the life of this thing. And as we go along and mature as actors, as filmmakers, those things will be fewer and farther between. We'll be able to figure out those things better and better, but they're still not going to be the most important thing. No. They're not.
Nope. I agree, dude. You have any questions for Katie about Wayward Kin, dude?
I kind of
Or anything.
Or anything.
I had a little question.
I also bought the box you guys got me of questions. I'm going to pull some out for you.
Good. This is both your guys' first feature?
Yeah, mine.
Yeah.
And Katie, what's like a big step to doing a feature? Is it just like it's just way more work? Or is there anything that like surprised you in that, like, I don't know, like doing what you usually do, but maybe like 10 times, 12 times, 15 times more, like times 12 or 15.
You start, Katie.
You know what? You know how they say to eat an elephant one bite at a time, kind of thing. When I first said we're doing a feature, I couldn't imagine. Well, I don't know what I was bumfuzzled and like, oh my gosh, this is so much responsibility. Kind of freaked out. I'm not the one. Somebody else needs to do this. Like that's more that has more experience and all these things. But when I sought out to do the work on it, the main thing that surprised me was like, I gotta be on set again today. How many of these scenes am I in? Again? I've never been that needed. So that was really surprising, terrifying, and thrilling. It was thrilling. When I was working on it, though, and I'd be like, my binder is this big. Most of my binder is this big. And I'd be like, oh, wow, another scene. I got to memorize this too. Woo, okay. So, yeah, the mountain is just larger, but the work is the same. And thank God I have training. I've been trained. I know what to do when somebody hands me something.
Yeah.
The first thing I know what to do is to say yes or no. Adam taught me that real good.
Me too. He taught me that too.
Yeah, well, that's the most important. And then when you say yes, and somebody gives you cold, dead text, a bunch of words on paper, I can confidently say, I know what to do. And it's up to me how deeply and dedicated that I do those things. But I've been given the tools. So when I started working on it, it just felt like, oh yeah, I just have to do it more. Like you said, I just got to do more than I usually do. And deeper. And like, I've never worked so hard or deeply on anything in my life. It changed me forever as an actor, as an artist, in basically every way.
Awesome.
Yeah. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, 100%. I also like want to ask you both the moment shooting's done and you go back to Jersey and like when you first get in your door and you drop your bags, I just like imagine like what you feel in that moment where you go back to real life. It's like after going on the vacation and like you go back and you're like, oh no, like I gotta go back into society.
Yeah. Yeah. I was in a psych ward for a month, like daydreaming about something that I just came back home.
Yeah. Like how does that feel? Because I feel like it's so like intense.
Yeah.
The process of everything and to just go back, it's like I don't know, it must be crazy.
Yeah. I'm not great at it. I will say still. I think like
your wife's like why are you sitting in the corner?
Like for real. Like you're walking cemeteries and like you're doing weird shit, dude. Like up until that point, like Katie's saying, there's a depth to. We care so much about delivering the story to people, and it's for me the way I looked at it, and I won't speak for Adam, but like the way I looked at it was, this is it. This is our best foot forward, and I don't know how it'll be received. And to be honest, like it's not in my hands. Like I can only work on what I can work on and everyone plays their part. But like this is it. This is my swing at telling a story in this way, which is a way I believe in, a hill I'm willing to die on. So you put a lot of work into these things going into them. Like I gave everything to it, bro. And yeah, like definitely I wasn't the greatest husband for sure. During the shoot, like just communicating with your wife in between scenes of like getting your kid ripped out of your arms that you've developed this like incredible relationship with, and it sounds crazy, but it's like that's the reality and the not so pretty side about throwing yourself into something like that.
I always find that fascinating too, is the idea of like acting things that are not positive.
Yeah.
Putting yourself in situations that you're like, I don't want to be that person.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to be a bad person or do something terrible.
Yeah, but
you kind of have to.
Well, I think like I am that person. Like,
yeah,
that is
you have
me.
to embody that.
Well, it is me. Like that's like it's Katie, it's me,
Yeah.
and we're just turning knobs on things that
Yeah.
we deal with or we've seen that we understand. Or if we don't understand it, we find a way to understand it. But when we turn those things up and work on them and like deepen our meaning with these connections of like why we're doing what we're doing, it's us. Like it's us. So it costs you something. I always remember like Jim would say like he would say it kind of in a not in a throwaway, but I remember just noting he said it, and it registered as true to me. Was if there's a meaningful like piece of you being exchanged in the work, like it's going to cost you something. Like it should cost you something, and you know, to an extent, by all means, I'm not saying like cut your wrist to like give a great performance, like all within a healthy boundary, and you be the judge of that. But I think it does cost you something. Like I think. Your heart, if you give your heart to something, like when if you love something in life, it's going to cost you. That is it. There is no way around it, you know. And like if you're telling a story about a child pinned between two parents who love it, but are so enraptured in their rage against each other to win by any means necessary, and you put yourself into it, it's going to cost you something. And so the dismount. Afterward, like putting the bags down, you're like, I'm so happy to be home. Wow, that was I can't wait to tell you everything. And then you just like pass out for like 18 hours, you know? And then you're like, wow, okay, what do I do now? Like, where's the coffee? Like, I don't know. Like, where do I start? You know, that's what it is. For me, that's what it was.
Okay, did you find yourself like snapping on people?
And I slept in my own bed. I wasn't on the air mattress in the living room.
That's gotta be.
Yeah.
So what kind of came to my mind when you were talking, Dave, is if you give a person a sewing machine, you give them a bobbin, you give them a needle, and you give them some fabric, each person's going to make a different dress. And each person is going to wear that dress differently. So in my experience of putting the bags down, now, I've just made a movie with my husband. Dave just made a movie halfway across the country from his wife. Those are two very different experiences, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, me and Adam are having the movie, and we're also having our marriage. And they started going like this. It's like, okay, hold on. Now you're my husband.
Yeah.
You're Victor now. Now you're my husband. Yeah. And he and I did the best I think we could do with it, having be our first time. And I think that it was it is the best working experience I've ever had in my life. But coming home and setting down the bags, I'm with the filmmaker. Adam's with Lena, who's like becoming a doctor. So she needs all this filling in and all of this, like, what did I miss? And ours is just like, you know, digesting everything that happened and being like, how are you as a person? You good? How are you? As a person? I don't know. As an actor, I feel so fulfilled. Yeah. So we got to have all of these really great conversations and like come back into our marriage again because it was so busy and so many things were happening that you lose sight of what's what a little bit, I think. And I mean, I didn't know what to expect going into that. So, but essentially for me, setting down the bags didn't have to be as sad because I got to be here, him coming home from editing the movie. I'm like, how was the edit today? What was it like? Did you get what you wanted? Did you capture the story you and Dave wanted to tell?
No.
Is it there? So I got these like exciting, still being a part of it every day. So it didn't have to be as sad, I think, the losing of set, you know, and the work, because it felt like I was still kind of a part of it.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 years later.
2 years later, yeah,
still happening.
yeah, dude, still grinding away, but we are right there.
Wayward Kin is forever.
Wayward Kin forever, baby. And yeah,
I have the last question.
Oh, please.
Which is, I don't know. I want to see maybe you can help me on this thought. So when you guys talk about acting and stuff, like we talk about it too, as like the most personal things, like the most kind of interesting for us. And I think in general, you know, it's kind of, maybe it's just like a preference thing, but also do you think like the best acting is like the most, like you're saying, like being that character, that role, like becoming that? Do you think that's like the best kind of, I want to put on like on a scale as like as close as you can embody like a character or become that, you know, and like display that through acting, you know, like in the most real, pure way. Yeah. You know, like not thinking at all, like in your head or anything.
Yeah.
Like, is the best acting that, or is it like a balance of like that and something else, like rein in a little bit, but also that, or I don't know. I don't know if you guys have a thought on that.
That's a good question, dude. My thought, my immediate thought is it's that. It's the more personal, the more universal it becomes. Yeah. So, like I'll say this. I just watched a little clip, like just a stupid little thing came up on my Instagram, and it was Brando in Godfather when he's told Sonny died. So when Sonny got gunned down in a toll booth, and he's getting the news, right? And the lines are the lines, like the lines are whatever. But you can watch him receive news, and it feels like you're receiving the news. And that's why that's important. He wasn't worried about how he looked, I'm sure. I don't think he was like half in and half out. I don't think he was watching himself. I think he was receiving news to something that meant a lot to him and processing it in the moment with who was in the room with him. And he was doing something for real. And I think that's why it resonates, man. So I would say yes. I think that is, we say the best. I say the best. I don't know what anyone else says. But that's what resonates with me. So therefore, that's what I believe is the best way to tell a story if you are in it.
Yeah. I feel like that's like I feel like if more people, like, if there's a way to make more people understand that or know that.
AnytimeActorsLab.com.
I know. I think that's like a very, like, the start of it all. Because it seems like even with me before learning acting stuff and like learning about it, I was just so like, they fucking say blah, 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 and then they are good at it.
Yeah.
You know? That's like the most simple, basic way. But I feel like if people like learned or are able to understand that in like an easy way, it might like bring that appreciation to it, you know? Because I think that's a thing that's missing, you know what I mean? In like industry stuff. And like it's not really looked at, like no one really gives a shit.
Right.
No one really knows.
Right.
You know? So I don't know. I'm just thinking in my head.
Yeah. No, I love that
like
curiosity.
That could be like a good, like to push that as like your kind of, which I think is the mission
that's the hope
of Anytown, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's going to be, I'm hoping like young actors or people that are interested in acting that come and watch the movies too. And
if you see that, you're like, that's different.
Yeah. They're like, what the hell is this?
Like, that's like it, like the acting it feels like that you guys are talking about is, and seeing it too, like compared to other things you watch, it's like, it's a whole world. Like you can tell just from like the performances and everything, you know, and like it's different. It's not like a general thing. It's like its own style almost, you know, like its own niche type of style.
Right.
Which is like, I don't know.
Right.
I find very important.
Yeah.
To like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Shine a light.
I want a little bit. So I want to change the word best to true.
I like that.
I always say a little thing. The truth has a different ring to it. Because best is subjective. True is true. Real is real. And I don't think anybody needs to know and be educated on what it is. I think you know it in your gut when you see it.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that they may not know how you did it, but they know that you did it. They know that they're moved. They know, you know, we could talk about acting being an empathy machine, right? If we put ourselves there for real, you are going to feel it for real. If we don't, if there's something false, you will be like, checked out. You'll look at your phone. You'll eat some popcorn. You'll have some candy. You'll go to the bathroom. Right? And that's an actor's duty. That is your job. And so that's why we take it so seriously, because this art should be, as much as it can, a service. In order for it to be a service, you have to be a servant. If you don't have a servant heart, which I haven't ever until Wayward Ken, and I'm going to be very honest about that. I was like, please tell me I'm good. Please love me. Give me my worth from all this work that I've done. That was something else that was really different. Mm-hmm. And to be able to know the transition of, I need something from you because of the good work I've done, versus I want to give something to you from my heart that I gave my whole self to, is so different. It's so different. And it's hard to work like that. And you have to do a lot of personal growth and spiritual growth. And, you know, it's not something that just happens out of maturity. It's something you have to go after. It's something you have to position your heart for. Mm-hmm. But I think when you do that and you really show up to give something, people are going to sit in their seats and say, this is different. Right?
That's right.
Without knowing how we did it. So an example of that for me is the movie Steel Magnolias and 5 Easy Pieces. I don't know which one to go with because I love them both so much. But Steel Magnolias, when I hear the intro music, I begin to weep because the women came together and they sewed a piece of they quilted a piece of my soul into cinema history. I watched that and I was like, this is my family. Those are my neighbors. I can smell the movie. I can feel the movie. I can hear, I mean, of course I can hear the movie. I'm getting real crazy about this, but with that movie in general, like a lot of those people weren't Southern. Dolly Parton was, but Julia Roberts wasn't. Sally Field wasn't. They really created, like you said, Mikey, a world that I got to step into and say, I'm home. So I would watch it in New York and I'd be like, oh, I want to go home so bad. I'm crying now. It's so silly. I was like, I want to go home. I want to go home. I want to go home. And now when I watch it, I'm like, thank God I'm home. I'm home, you know? But 5 Easy Pieces, in that same way, Jack Nicholson so truthfully portrayed and put himself in the position of, I'm two people and I don't know how to make them be one person. I'm an intellectual artist and I'm a roughneck in the oil fields. I am both of those things. I don't know how to make them one person. So I only can ever be two. So I only can ever be half of myself with my partner and half of myself with my family. And the girls that I should want versus the girls that I really want. But except for part of me wants this woman and part of me wants this woman, but they can't be the same. So I forever live split in half. He so authentically brought that to life that it made me realize that I was living that way too.
Boom.
That I was one person when I was at home with my family eating barbecue, and another person when I was sitting around with my actor friends in New York City at the cafe talking about all of these plays and these playwrights and this literature. I couldn't get those two people to be the same person. And so each person felt unreal to me, like a character that I was playing, even though it was me and I was telling the truth, but those people couldn't be one person. I watched that movie and I was like, I need to do some work on myself. Why can't I be who I am in all the rooms that I go in? Right? What am I shooting on myself in a way? Like what is that? Films should make you think things like that. Films should make you feel feelings like that. They should change your life. They should enrich you. They should break your heart. That's only going to happen if the actors and the filmmakers and the writers come together with that intention to serve the people who are going to eat popcorn and watch it. I am not meaning to go this deep. I'm sorry.
No,
I got on
great.
but it means so much to me.
Yep.
And I want other actors to have the opportunity to experience that. And so I feel like I have something to share because I have been two people. I have been two actors. And I feel like for the first time in my life, I'm becoming one. And I want to give that experience to other young actors and filmmakers and people who are feeling like that.
Damn. Fired me up.
I'm done.
Fired me up.
That's the mission, man.
Wait, what movie was that?
5 Easy Pieces.
Pieces.
Damn. And the other movie you mentioned was
Steel Magnolia.
I feel like that title fits for that movie
Yeah.
for some reason. Steel Magnolia fits for that
For 5
story.
Easy Pieces?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
If you think about it, Steel Magnolia is like guy in oil fields steel, but the flower's the
Beautiful
artist.
Hey, it kind of does.
Right? Right?
Wow.
It's kind of cool, right?
By accident. Those correlations and the fact that those were two of my favorite
That's why I was like,
films.
I was gonna say that title's so good,
That's a great title.
but
You just rocked my world with that, dude. I didn't put that together, but that was brilliant. Man,
So good.
Mikey.
damn, man.
Dude.
making me real.
I'm feeling
over here.
artsy, dude. I love this. This is awesome. What a good conversation.
But that's the mission, dude.
Yeah, man.
Katie said it better than I could ever say it. That's the mission.
I'll be honest, dude. You guys are the only people I've ever felt that from, like in the world. You know, like sometimes I look at things and I'm like, man, I'm just like, it's so dim. Some places where I'm like,
Yeah.
even like I kind of just stopped like wanting to really make anything.
Yeah.
It just kind of dulled me.
Yeah.
You know, where.
Yeah.
But I see like I wish I had a part with Wayward Kid, man. I regret it so much
I
now.
know.
I was like, oh, like
You're like next one. Next feature.
I'll work, go to my job, or and then I'm so regretting it.
I know.
But next one,
Next one.
next one is I'm not gonna. I'm gonna be bringing you coffee. You know, like I don't care.
No, dude.
You do so much more than that, and you have so much value.
Yeah.
It's all right. I'll take whatever.
Although coffee is important, and no one is ever going to say it's not.
Yeah.
But you have so many talents and so much to give, and the single fact that you want to give it means that you should be able to have the opportunity to do so.
That's right. That's right, dude.
Can't wait to do that. Can't wait to get on set with you, Mike.
Yeah, come on now.
Let's go behind the curtain, baby.
Oh yeah.
Maybe-
Oh yeah.
I have something in me where I feel like I could act.
He's been saying it.
I feel like there's something in me that I could. I don't know.
We got to get you to any town
I
at
gotta do
Actors
something,
Lab,
dude. I
bro.
gotta do something. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm hyped, man.
I kind of want to know, what is it in you that's coming up right now that makes you want to do that, or feel like there's something?
I just feel
in
like
you
it would be fun. First thing, I don't know why. I'm just like, that sounds fun.
It would be. It would be.
To just like really let go
Yeah.
and like become something,
Mm.
you know?
Mm.
Like become I don't know, like be this character. And I'll be like, okay.
Yeah.
I feel like I can do that,
Right.
you know? From the way you guys talk about stuff, I'm like, I feel like I can embody and like try to just, like, this is the circumstance and I can be that.
There's tools you can
Yeah.
use to get there. For sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we could teach them to you.
Hell yeah.
We could teach them to you.
We'll
Yeah.
see, man. Mikey, baby. No, okay. I'll be
would love
I'll be the most annoying actor.
No, shut up, man.
Dude, we're
You'd
gonna
be
get it.
great. You'd be great.
First
We'll
of all,
see, we'll
all
see.
actors are annoying, no matter what.
That's true. That's very true. After knowing all of you guys, man, just every
They're exhausting.
annoying person that comes in this room.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
I know.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, man. Like, I think the deeper access you have to yourself, the deeper access you have to the universal circumstance of being human,
Yeah.
and then relating yourself to others that are in that circumstance.
Mm.
It definitely feels like now I'm like, because with like as life goes and you kind of get better.
Oh my god.
Things are like,
bro. Oh my god.
I'm less in like my
dude.
in my head and less like, oh, I care what everyone thinks.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
'Cause that's the death of
Yeah.
that.
That's right.
Right?
Well, you grow, you get older, and like
Yeah.
with this, like I don't know if I necessarily look at acting differently, but I definitely don't. Like you know, Katie, like went through this like personal process of like separating myself from like what acting could give me. Like you were speaking on it. Like if I'm not doing this and I'm not getting praise from doing this, then like what is the purpose of this? You know, and I know it's to be of service, and like I get that, and my one foot's there and my other foot's in like, yeah, but how does Dave come up in the world through this acting stuff? And that was a big part of my engine in my 20s. And it wasn't until like God came back into my life, or I let the door open to let him back into my life, where like he put that right-sized, this acting thing, where if he took it from me, I'm going to be okay. Not okay, I'll be totally fine. And like to know that, to not have a fear of like, how am I doing? Like, what do you guys think? And to know I'm loved, like, period, totally freed me up to do the thing that he made me fall in love with. Where I, like, we got to tell that story in that way. I couldn't have done that. I couldn't have done that story with you in a way where it would have been real. Like, I would have been, you know, showing you one of these each scene. You know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't have been, and I would have tried to pull you out of it inadvertently because I'd be in my head. It's just funny because you position yourself, if you're a human being and you feel like you're lacking love and you have this craft and like people are telling you like, man, this is great. You're great at this. I wrote it. Like this is for me. If that was me, like you're saying years ago, like you've grown and went through some things, like that's going to change. The way you do the thing you do is going to change. So I don't know, man. All to say, like, yeah, you grow up and you learn some things about yourself and you go through some transformations and then the thing becomes right-sized. It's no longer like, is Robert Duvall going to think I'm great? You know, if he don't think I'm great, then I'm really nothing. Am I going to be the best ever? Like Chalamet in the speech, like if I'm not, then I'm fucked. Yeah. You know, like there's a part of it that if you want to be excellent at something, you should be. You can pursue something, but I think for me, it needs to be in a right size, as opposed to like love and God and my friends and you know what I mean. And it's not serving myself. Yeah, I'm not twisting it to serve myself.
It's really interesting to think how like art really has like a special connection to like how you are. Like where you're at in life.
Oh yeah.
You know? It's like it really like parallel kind of runs.
It totally does, dude.
If you're in a bad place, like I mean some people saying like trauma, like some, you know, art forms like you come up with things, but it's like I don't know. You know, I feel like it really depends. Like if something I don't know. Maybe I'll leave it at that. Like the way it's parallel is really cool.
It is cool.
It's interesting, you know?
Yeah. I mean
I had a similar experience.
Please. Yeah.
Dave, that I mean, without God, I can do nothing.
Yeah.
I have tried it on my own. I saw how that went. It was not good. Okay, not good. So before every scene, I said, "Holy Spirit, please bring about what you would have me do, and put me." To the side. So all the things that I'm talking about being able to do, I'm only able to do because I know I am loved by God and that is all I will ever need. If I lose everything, it doesn't matter because I haven't. It says in the Bible, you know, a man goes to find his life, he will lose it. A man who loses his life for my kingdom will find it. I don't think he says my kingdom, but for me. And I think that that's really, really true because going back to what I said the whole time I was an actor, it was to fulfill something worldly that I needed or to continue to feel because it came from a small town and I did pageants and, you know, it really messed with my head being put up on a stage with 27 other women in a swimsuit and being like, let's pick the best, you know, and all of then you get to New York and it's like, let's pick the best of 100,000. And you're always ping-ponging yourself of, well, where do I fit? Where can I find the most love? Where can I find the most praise? Well, it's in an acting class. And then your classmate comes up and he's like, that was so good. And you don't think about the story you shared. You think about how well you shared the story. Not about what it meant to the people who would see it, but what it means to have yourself honored in it. That is a really, it's a sick place. It's really, really sick because it's an unfillable well. So I'm so glad that you said that, Dave, because I want to make sure that I give God the glory, not to myself. I do not think I could have done any of what I did without putting Jesus first. For sure. And that I do think that we're all given gifts, right? And we all have a unique and way to share them. But the world likes to contort those things and invert those things to something that I think is really unhealthy.
Yeah. Agreed, dude. Agreed. That's what broke me up about when we did the interviews. What was that? That was December.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Because watching, like, knowing you for how long I've known you, and then watching your interview when you were talking about, like, exactly what you're talking about now, being of service and to the person that is the single mother that is in a situation where she feels like she's got no allies and she feels like she's going to lose her creation. Like, to be of service to that, like I was front row seat to that. And, like, in my opinion, and I'm just a dumb human, but you've done that. And it's so, I can't wait for people to see it, because I know that they're going to relate and they're going to respond, and their heart's going to see in kind that, like, there is another who understands my plight. And yeah, dude, that's
the goal.
Well, it was just to talk about transformation. Like, dude, that I watched it over years. Like, you get to this point now where you can do that, where you can set aside, like, it's not about how I look and it's not about how I sound, and it's about being a servant to something greater than myself, period. And in every job we do, we are technically in service to another. And we just, because we're jaded, or we have some issues or whatever, we turn it into, like, how do I get mine? Or, man, this sucks. Like, I'm not being served in my position of service, and you're missing something. There's not, it can't give you that. Like, I think until you know you're loved, and until you know that you're accepted fully, now you can give yourself to something, for someone else, Yeah. But just to see you come from where you came from, dude, from when I met you and to where it is now, my wife, she's bawling her eyes out watching, like, these, like, rough cuts of stuff, and she's like, man, she's like, I hate you guys because you're making me feel stuff, And she's saying that she don't like that kind of stuff, but it's because it touches her heart, and she's trying to, like, coast, Yeah. She's trying not to have that heart touched, man. Yeah, man. But man, she got a tough job. But I think that's what started to break me up a little bit, because I saw how much that meant to you, and it's real, and it's not just words, and it's why you do it. So
yeah, don't do it. Also,
yeah.
I mean, I don't really act.
Yeah.
At all. And it used to be, if I'm not acting, who am I?
Me too.
Well, I am the daughter of God, and I know who I am. Yeah. Do I live up to that every day? No. Do I still struggle with these things? I act like I'm all healed and perfect. No. I have to fight and struggle with that every day. Mm-hmm. Every day. Mm-hmm. But the struggle is worth it. It's worth it. And I have been there, and I've also seen a lot of people go through getting everything and feel at the end of the day that they have nothing. Mm-hmm. Jim Carrey spoke on that. There's so many people who said, I wish you could, have it all so you could know, right?
Yep.
It's because the intention is misplaced. And even if you aren't a believer, it's not just for people of the Christian faith or whatever faith that you have. It's about intention.
Yeah.
And it's about intention. And where you're coming from. Because if you come in needy, it's going to look needy. Mm-hmm. But if you come in saying, what can I do? What can I do? Mm-hmm. It's going to look like service.
Yeah.
And that is something I'll work on the rest of my life, because I'm still human. I still have blood in my body. I'm not just floating around like a spirit in heaven. No, I'm flesh and blood. But, like, to talk on it and to speak on it and to share that with other people and to listen to other people is important. It's important to recognize that, I think.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely, dude. Man. Absolutely. I'm going to pull some cards real quick, okay? Can we do this?
Let's do a couple, man.
Answer a couple questions
Do
together.
a couple.
Okay, this is a gift from you guys, so I wanted to bring it. I'm gonna stick to the vulnerable cards for now. We're gonna get vulnerable.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
It's the theme of the episode. The first one I pull. Why do you think people seek validation from others?
Ooh.
That's real. Get out of here.
Come on,
Get
man.
out of here.
Why do you think that's the case, guys? Why?
Okay, let's really think about that.
Let's dig.
Why?
Yeah.
Why do we think that? People seek validation.
From others.
Who wants to go first?
Dave.
Mikey.
Mikey, I think you should speak on it.
All right.
Yeah.
What's your take?
All right. Let me see here.
Feet up on the desk. Look at you.
You want to know why?
Go ahead, man.
Because there is an issue
What's the issue?
somewhere
Oh.
in their lives. You know, and that could be the form of a lot of things. You know, it could be something I just think it's something they got to work on. They might not know what it is, but I think it's something they got to search for. But there could be a lot of, you know, I think it tends to be like not really loving yourself or not really seeing value in yourself. And you try to see that through other people's words. And that might come from maybe, you know, your dad not hugging you all the time, or your mom not really hugging you, or no one really calls you and checks up on you. Or it could be a list of things, you know? But everyone's got to, you know, everyone's worth it, right? Everyone's got like purpose, and everyone should be loved. Everyone should, you know, feel like they're wanted and like they're human, right? Because we all matter. So, yeah.
Spot on, man. I like that.
Straight up. Exactly. Right.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think you're spot on, bro. I think you're spot on. I think there's a we are
Hat on, man.
well, I'm trying to put words to it. I don't know.
I think what Mikey's saying too is how I would say that is everybody's born with a God-shaped hole
Boom.
that they try to fill with food, sex, drugs, validation, career, money. I read this book one time called Counterfeit Gods by Tim Keller, my favorite pastor of all time. Bless and rest his soul. But it went through all of those major things that we try to gain happiness and contentment from. And why? Mikey, I think you'd really like that book.
You dig it. You dig it.
Really?
We were given it. Not happy. Not all the people were happy we were given it in Playhouse, which everybody can have their opinion.
That's
Everybody gets to choose.
Why weren't
That's
people
great.
happy?
I don't know, man.
They did not want that to be given to a class, which I do understand that. But Jim did preface it with, "This is not about Christianity.
Yeah,
this is
what?
about."
You can't read a book? Jeez, like
I know. It's
this
just
is world.
how people feel how they feel. You can feel how you feel. Bless you. I don't care. But
that sounds like crazy, though. I'm sorry.
I know. Well, we had some
fucking book, man. Let's read the book. Sorry.
I get it. Everybody has the way in which
Yeah, but I'm trying to be Brando.
No,
I don't want to read
don't get
Counterfeit
it.
Gods. I'm trying to be Bradley Cooper. I don't want to read Counterfeit Gods.
Right. The genius of Jim giving us that book, though, is it goes through all the things I just listed.
Yeah.
And he said, these are the things that drive a human every day of their life.
Katie, and he'd pair it with like relentless.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I was like, I'm quitting this class because I don't like sports.
Give me my trophy.
No. But yeah. So, it went through all of the things and says, okay, why does money drive this man to commit suicide, right? This man loses everything he's ever had. He jumps off a building. Why? Right? And it digests everything that we try to use the world to give us and struggle, give me what I need. And why. And that's very important when you're understanding a character in a play in particular.
Mm-hmm.
You have to know what is attached to their spirit and pulling them through life, because plays are people not just living every day, going to work and whatever. Plays are a pivotal moment in a human's life, and that has led them to this place. Like all my sons.
True.
Right? Chris comes home from war and he's like, I don't want a new refrigerator. It reminds me of the people who aren't here to have a refrigerator, right? He is feeling so much guilt, right? So he's going through life trying to justify the fact that he's here and his friends aren't. Why am I worthy enough to live and breathe every day? Why am I worthy enough to love someone and to be loved? He can't. Because his friends died and he feels like he should have been the one that died. He doesn't feel worthy, right?
Survivor's
so you
guilt.
ask yourself, why is that man trying, or why is he doing what he's doing, right? Well, it goes back to that. So outlining all of those things made it so much easier to analyze a human being in a script.
Yep.
Because you're understanding where their intention and what's moving them through life is coming from. So then you find that within yourself. Maybe it's not money for you, but maybe it's praise, right? It comes down to the same thing. You make it personal to you, then you can talk money, money, money all day. And what you're saying to yourself is praise.
Yeah.
It's going to come out the same because you've married those two things, right? I think I got off course.
No.
Boy, I did not mean to just...
You didn't get off course.
No,
You're talking about why the book was important to us as actors, learning how to eventually learn how to embody a character.
Yeah.
Learning how to take on a script.
Question is, and what Mikey is saying is why do we need validation?
Yeah.
Right? Because something in our life is calling to that need.
Mm-hmm.
Something in our life caused us not to have that need fulfilled. Right? My dad, my mom, my dad wasn't there. My dad passed away when I was 8. Actually, me, Katie. I've lived life with certain kinds of needs and tried to fulfill them in ways that I thought would fill not having a father.
Yep.
They didn't, until I let God be my father. And I got that rich experience of saying, and it took me a long time to be able to say father to God, because I was like, it was icky. I did dad, father. That's not my life. That's not real. I don't know what that is. Until I let the light of love and Jesus do that for me and fulfill that for me. And then I stopped trying to get it from the world. That spiritual growth and, all of that. But it's the same thing with anybody else that comes to the realization that, why am I doing what I'm doing? Why am I doing this? Introspection.
Yeah.
Revelation. Transformation. Do I sound like a cult leader all of a sudden?
That was catchy. And
I was like, whoa.
that last part was catchy, and it could be
My
cultish.
vision started blurring.
Yeah. Mike started levitating for a second. No.
I saw the swirl graphic behind you.
The shortest cult leader of all time. How tall was Marilyn Manson? What was he? Charles Manson, not Marilyn Manson. God, he was like 5'4". So what I'm hearing is, and what I see in life from being a study of the human experience, a studier,
A scholar in life.
a scholar of humanity.
Living.
No, dude, what an idiot. Yeah, like okay, there is unrest in the human. There seems to be unrest in the human spirit, right? And we all have this like little unrest, this little like murmur of something is not quite right. It may not be always, but often something comes up and your spirit stirs and it looks for something to what is the word? Like
Quell.
I was going to say quelch.
I was going to go there.
Yeah. Yes.
Accuse.
Yeah. There's something that needs to come.
I feel like it's almost like and I always say it, I'm like, humans are like the curious, like animals are curious. It's all about curiosity. It's like, why is something like this?
Okay,
you know?
yeah.
And like, you know, you can go to like a regular, like a deer is like, where do I get food or something?
It's all
but like as humans, it's like, why is anything the way it is?
Right, we're dealing with deeper.
Why do I feel like this? Why do I feel like that?
Yeah, more introspective thoughts.
And there's probably like, you know, it gets to why do I feel like no one loves me?
Mm-hmm.
Why? And then you have to find an answer if you want to like
you go
feel good.
You certainly go looking for answers if you're like me. Or
so you keep trying to find an answer to those things.
You try to find it in the ways that make most sense to you.
Yeah.
You experience them.
Yeah. And there's different questions, you know, it's like what am I going to eat today? It's like, that's not really that, you know, not that important, but you have that on top of all like the traumas and stuff that you have, you know, it's like, it takes a lot more work to get that answer, you know?
Yeah. But I'm saying if you juice the routes of like affirmation from others, you realize quickly, I think once you start to receive it, that when you do get it, there's like a wall. It can't fill you enough to like, you're at peace now. Oh, it all makes sense now. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm going to be okay for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
You said you're proud of me. Oh, now I hear it. Finally, my heart's changed. It's like,
I'm good.
No, my heart hasn't changed. I just got what I needed from you. And now I'm looking for it again in 20 minutes from someone else. Yeah. Or from you in a different way. It's not enough because my spirit's not at rest. It's looking for something.
So I think what Katie was saying is like your cult terms, metamorphosis.
Yes.
You know, that's what it is. You need to grow. You need to change.
Yeah, you need to transform a bit. And you got to find your path, man. But yes, I think I always leave it out there, but there's a door and someone's at the other side of it waiting for you to open it. That's all I'm going to say.
Just put on your white shoes.
Put on your white shoes.
Get in the bunk beds and put your shoes on.
Join the club.
Yeah. The cult leader wears black shoes. Never mind.
We meet at dawn.
We meet at dawn. Yes. All right. I don't want to ask that. That's a little too personal.
I want to see that.
Well, now I want to know what it is.
That's even. Hey, Mike, look at this one. That's even worse. Yeah.
We should read it.
No. That's for another time.
What other time, man?
How about
next time we're around the fire?
Yeah. What was your biggest struggle this past year, Katie? The eyes. It's a hard one.
Should we ask Adam?
Adam, are you there?
I'm kidding.
Sink. 1 second.
Your cat's in the sink?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, 1 second.
Okay. Sorry, time out. Tea. We're taking a tea. 30.
Speaking of sinks, remember I set up that rat trap? I don't know why that made me think of that.
The pot?
Yeah. Like the
cheese in the middle?
Yeah, cheese in the middle of a pot of water.
That's the most diabolical rat trap I've ever heard of, dude. Oh, man.
You made me feel crazy after that.
Exactly what the hardest struggle of this past year was.
You know it?
Yeah, it was my back injury.
Oh, yes.
Oh, no.
You know a little bit about that now, Dave.
I sure do. It's weird how you guys both went through it. It's like basically the same year.
Right.
I know. I was in chronic pain every day for 10 months.
Dude. 10 months. That's a whole year, basically.
Right. And so I have spent most of my life trying to stay comfortable. I would say. And being put in that position, now that I'm not in pain every day, I can say I'm grateful for it because Adam's mom has had health issues her whole life. And I would hear her speak and I couldn't fully relate because I just didn't understand. But now the plight of someone who is in chronic pain, to some extent, I can now understand.
Yeah.
Have a lot more empathy and sensitivity around that. I'm really grateful every day I'm not in pain. It makes life so much easier. Because I sat down and I didn't move for 10 months. I was on a heating pad and I would cry at work every day. It was really bad. It was really, really bad. But I survived and I healed when I thought, I was like, I guess this is just my life for the rest of my life. I'm just going to be in pain every day for the rest of my life. But I wasn't. And that is so hopeful. And I feel like other hard things that come my way, I will be able to go into a stronger person. Because I think I was a pretty weak person before. I've had a bad day. I want to watch movies all day. And it's like, I can't sit on the couch comfortably to do that. Oh. I need to get up. I need to move. I need to walk. I need to take care of my body. I need to drink water. I need to eat more protein. There are so many things that I think I've been given that now what I want when I'm 70 is to be on a mountain, climbing it. And now I think I have a pathway to that because I can no longer afford to be comfortable.
Remember Chris came on the pod and he was talking about his back issues. Your student friend from class.
Yeah.
OG, fellow OG, Chris Cates.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, but he had a severe back injury too, just like you. And he was
Speaking of cult leaders, man.
Chris Cates.
He's
got those eyes, man.
All time.
What'd you say?
He'd be the best cult leader of all time.
Oh, it'd be the most fun. He'd just be like, come on, like let's like play bocce ball and like have our shoes off and like just kind of
Pilates.
Yeah. Let's get cinnamon rolls and kind of like tell jokes. Yeah. You know what I mean? He's that guy.
Palo Santo. What?
Dude, you're funny, man. You are fucking funny. That's the vibe, though, for sure. Yeah. He's the best. But it makes me think, like, when you're going through it, he went through it, my wife went through it. I didn't go through it just to see the how it incapacitates a human body. You can't even get, like, my wife couldn't put pants on. She couldn't tie her shoes. Like, just to get her leg over the shower, like with out of the bath, was like a fucking getting stabbed. Yeah. So when I can't imagine what that's like. I've just seen it, dude. The pain that you experience, and you're stronger for it. There's no way you're not, again, transformed through going through the fire of that. There's no way.
Absolutely. Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like now I can be grateful for it. Yeah. Because I've got a real dedication to taking care of myself for the first time in my life versus like, I want to make sure I look a certain way. Yep. So let me, in 4 months when I have an event, whatever, really start taking care of myself.
Yeah.
I have to. And so what that means is that I was given something that only that kind of pain would bring about a true dedication, unfortunately, just for me to taking care of myself. That's going to afford me such a good, mobile, hydrated rest of my life.
Such a pleasant, like, back nine of life. You know what I'm saying? Not that we're at the back nine, just like, just eventually when we are, to be on that mountain, to be like, wow, I can still do what I want to do with my body. That's the goal, man. That's the goal. I thank God every day I can run. Yeah. I can still run. I know I'm 35, but like, or 34. Whoa. But like, just I know people that can't at this age already. And I'm like, dude, thank you, God, for still giving me the ability to go on a run. Thank you.
Yeah. It made me go like, I got to get my stuff together.
Oh, dude, it's
I'm like,
to find gratitude through the fire, I think is why God often shapes us and brings us through things. We feel like, why me? Why now? Like, why do I have to go through this? But there's a reason. There's something about the way you're living or something where you may have prayed for something or asked for something, and this is the route. It's going to hurt. You think you're not going to make it through, but you're going to be shaped by it more times than not. So I'll
say something about that because it's really making me think of something else, because the back pain came in the middle of me finding something that I loved more than anything I've ever loved doing in my life. I had given up on, not given up, but I had given over the I need to be an actor thing. I just really didn't need it anymore. And then I found pottery.
Twins.
Dang.
Put me on that potter's wheel, bro. And it's what's
And she's killing it.
Really?
She was killing it.
Oh yeah, I was there. I had my own studio at Glaze Ceramic Studio in downtown McKinney.
Shout out.
And I was getting ready to start selling work, and I was so on fire. And I'd never felt this kind of passion for any kind of creation in my life ever.
Wow.
And I felt, oh my goodness, I found what I'm meant to do. Instead of going into it, what it was supposed to be was a hobby. And it was supposed to be enjoyable. I had now turned it into another way in which I needed to achieve and receive praise.
Hey, look at that.
Wow. Like, oh, Katie has done it again. I was like, oh, look how much growth I've done. My acting.
Look at me.
I no longer need to do it. Now look at this ball I made. So it was really funny because God was just like, how many more ways you gonna choose to go and walk the same road, you know?
Yes.
Like, and then it was like taken away from me in the moment. It was one day I was okay. Next day, you are not okay. And you still are not okay. Each day I'm like, this should be over. It's not over.
Yep.
But now I just took my first pottery class back at it. I took a hand building class to be smart and not put myself right back on the wheel because I am still healing. And my class ended. And I thought I was going to be devastated and being like, okay, I need to figure out how to make sure I have enough money. I need to be a member. I need to get back in. I was so pleased that I learned something new and that I could take a little break until another class comes around just to enjoy touching the clay.
Yeah.
And again, like all of these lessons that bring transformation. Transformation of the spirit. It's like God wants life for us and he wants it for us abundantly. He doesn't want us taking every good thing and striving to get worth out of it.
Yeah.
That is not life. That life is so not fun lived that way. Right? It's so self-focused. You don't get to enjoy things with other people because you're so needing. You're so needy, you know?
I think that's the goal. I pray that this episode finds somebody was or is in the shoes that, if we're not careful, we find ourselves in the same shoes. Which is like, I challenge you to look at the things that you hold dear or the pursuits that you're on. This is what I pray for people that I love, people I've never met. Like, that you find those things and God shows you those things like up close and personal, and just imagine you can't do that anymore. Just imagine that can't be a part of your life anymore. You'll no longer have it. How do you feel?
Who are you?
Who are you? Yeah. And I think that
anything.
I just think that's very important to like take a good close look at the things that you've put in your life, the pursuits and the things that fill you and all that, and just take a look, and take inventory and say, if this was to be removed, who am I?
Yeah.
And we all do it. Yeah. We all do it.
It's just human nature.
It's human nature.
Nothing to also beat yourself up over.
No, God, no.
It's something to share and grow in. It's not something to be like, I'm the worst. You're human, baby. You're human. And no one's exempt from this.
But look how rewarding. Again, we look at the acting stuff. Acting to me, it's a service as if I'm a plumber. It's the same thing. There is no level of importance that I am not greater than the plumber in this world because I act. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Plumber's killing it. Plumber is so important. Actor's important, right? We need stories out there. But if it's not for me, I'm not telling the story. God's not putting me in a position to tell that story. I'm not telling it. I don't need to prove to Mike that I'm an actor. Like, look, I'm doing all this stuff.
I don't believe it, man.
Yeah, I haven't been. It's like you. Like I am willing to give it to God, and when He brings it into my life in whatever ways, and if He inspires me to write a thing or whatever, that's when I'll do it.
Yeah.
But I don't. There's no proof that needs to be had by others to show me that like I'm loved or I'm important or I have a purpose. In my weakest moments, it exists. I am not cured of everything. I am not fully transformed into a perfect, Dave, best Dave ever. Like, it's not true.
Could circle it all the way back to when I was asking about the best acting, and Katie said the truth.
The truth,
What's the
man.
truth, dude?
The truth.
What is the truth of Dave?
The truth. The truth is Dave made God his acting, and now Dave put God back at the top of the list. So acting is in its rightful place.
And once you change that truth, then you're back to the validation.
Then I'm
Now
right
you're
back.
back
Then
in
I'm
another circle.
right back, buddy.
Back in another
Right
circle.
back. But I think Katie, what'd you say?
The grooves in the record are deep.
Oh, beautifully put. They kicked right back into that in that favorite track 3. I'm right back there. I wore that bitch out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. No, but I mean, I think Katie, it's so well said. I think that that's the. I'm so glad you brought this up and like we're talking about it freely here. That's the message. I think is like, watch the movie. Don't watch the movie. If you do, I hope you get something from it. And we don't need to be validated by that at all. We won't see the ripples of it. We'll never see the full effect of what we did. And it wasn't really us doing it. We were just put in a position to do it, but it was a hand above us moving all the pieces, obviously. Thank you, God, for that, for putting that in perspective for us and letting us even just be around for that. And yeah, Katie, thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being so vulnerable as always. And anything you would like to speak on going into releasing this work into the world and where you're at now and anything else that you'd like to bring light to or put word to.
Well, first of all, thank you guys for this conversation. It's been truly incredible. I have really enjoyed it a lot. I did 2 podcasts in 2 days, and it's like I've spent a lot of time not wanting to be seen. And now I'm being called upon. Like, I'm not on social media. You can't find me at Instagram, at TikTok. I don't be on there. You can't find me on there because I didn't want to be seen. I didn't want anyone to be able to have an opinion on my life that doesn't know me. But I'm being called upon to be seen, to talk about this film. And it's another part of being a servant and doing as much as I can to get this to the audience of people that we all made it for. So thank you for the opportunity to do that. This is one little step in doing that. And thank you for also being vulnerable and asking questions. It's like, so great. As for shedding light on anything else, I really feel like I've used up my word quota for the day. Enough. But yeah, I'm just so happy to share this, man.
Nice.
With whoever wants to come and see it. I'm just so happy to share it. I'm really proud of the collaborations and the story that we're telling. And I hope that people sit in the seats and come away having conversations with their friends and family about it.
Yeah. Man. I have nothing else to say other than if your husband, he hasn't balled in a while. If he did, and if I sent him left, what's he gonna do?
That's a classic.
What's he gonna do? Because he don't have a left. What's he really gonna do?
All I'm gonna say is Dave's got some inches on him.
That's all he's saying. That's all he's
All
saying.
I'm gonna say.
That's all he's saying.
And honestly, can't wait to see you guys.
But
in
listen,
Texas.
and honestly, great director. He's the best director I've ever worked with. Best co-writer, producer. He's my best. He's the best guy I know.
And I'll say,
and you know how much I love him. You know he's at the center of my heart. Your husband. But if we If we're talking athletics, we know what we're doing. We know where the hierarchy is. And that's it. That's the episode today, guys. Katie, thank you so much again. I love you so much. Thank you for being vulnerable. Can't wait to see you in April. And guys, if you want to join now, Mikey's
Link in the bio.
Mikey's gonna be there.
Link in
Dude,
the description.
We got to do a pod out there now.
Yeah,
we got to do the whole thing.
We totally will.
Yeah, we have to.
We will.
We have the whole
We have the studio and everything.
Oh.
And then we have the whole hotel. We have the whole spur. We have the spur in Archer City. The whole hotel is ours.
filming room with books and a fireplace. It's ready to go.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got something to look forward to. That's for you guys to look forward to. But
heck yeah.
Yes.
The cast, the crew.
Oh, come on, man. We get Avery on here, maybe?
Yeah. That'd be awesome.
Oh my
Get everyone,
gosh,
man.
dude.
Let's just do 100-person podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
We were outside in the cold, and everybody that supported the pod was all outside in the back of the West, and we were all sharing stories. And we would get up and let's do that round 2. That was
Dude, that'd be sick.
That would be cool.
Okay, we're gonna try to do that.
Let's
then.
do it.
That
We
sounds
can do it.
good. That sounds
Let's
really
do it.
good. In Archer, that'd be perfect.
Yeah.
We got the town.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Love you, Katie. Thank
Love
you,
y'all.
guys.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
320, episode 320.
320.
I'm gonna find a basketball hoop so that we can finally see the showdown between Adam and Dave.
Well, my shoulder's been hurting because I had the boxing stuff. So
okay,
I gotta heal up. Let me heal up.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Give me some time.
Now you're talking.
My calf is strained.
Can't wait to see you guys in Texas and possibly in the future. There's a showing maybe in New Jersey.
There might be.
So we might have for everyone in New Jersey, but for now we're gonna go to Texas.
Katie, I heard maybe May might be on the table. Anyway.
Thank you guys so much. My name is Mike. Signing up.
My name's Dave. I love y'all. Please be kind to yourself. Please be kind to one another. Boom.
And that's Katie.
And that's Katie. Cult leader Katie.